industry is lucrative. Every industry is lucrative. Every industry is lucrative. So once you discover your gift, then you have to develop your gift. And then you have to position your gift. If you can do those three, trust me, the money cometh. If you can do those three, it's a matter of time before you attract resources, attract wealth, attract opportunities. All it was required of you is to simply have some strategy. We have to have the mindset, but we also have to make sure that we develop the skill set and have the works that it takes to be elite. So once we discover, once we develop, and once we position, every single year, I'm gonna give you a word that you should never forget: recalibrate. Every single year, this is what I would do: recalibrate. You're gonna make some progress every single year, but once that year is over, you have to recalibrate. I thank God for being an athlete, because every season was its own entity unto itself. The biggest mistake business people make, the only difference between 2024 and 2025 are some black eyed peas. The only difference between 2024 and 2025 is your holiday party. The only difference between 2024 and 2025 is you take a little break. And as soon as that new year starts, you do everything the same exact way. Them black eyed peas can't help you. That toast can't help you. You praying and believe in God can't really help you unless you put in the works to get to your next level. I love being an athlete because we had what we call an off season. An off season is not when you work in your business, it's when you work on your business. And you must identify your weaknesses in your off season. And if you're committed and loyal in your off season, you can improve everything that you're weak in. So can I ask you a question? You got the faith, but are you willing to do the works in your off season to get bigger, stronger, and faster? Some of you guys know my story. My freshman year, I don't play a lick on my college basketball team. I go into my coach's office, I ask him a simple question: what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He looked me in the eye and laughed. He said, son, you don't play for me. I said, coach, I got a vision. Coach, I got a dream. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. And my commitment is to become somebody different. Just tell me what I need to work on, coach, and I'll work on it. I said, he told me in my eyes, you can't run, you can't jump, you can't dribble, you can't shoot, and you can't rebound, son. I said, coach, I know I got weaknesses. But in my off season, I'm gonna get bigger, I'm gonna get stronger, I'm gonna get faster. The next year, I led our team to the Sweet 16 coming off the bench. I went back in his office the next year, asked him the same old question: what do I need to do in my off season to play in the NBA? He didn't laugh this time. And every year, the list got shorter and shorter and shorter until I became an NBA prospect. I wanna ask you a question. In your off season, what do you need to do? Is your marketing? In your off season, what do you need to work on? Your sales? In your off season, what do you need to work on? Your partnerships? In your off season, what do you need to work on? Your website? In your off season, what do you need to work on? Do you need to work on your product, your marketing, your branding? What do you need to work on? Your social media? There's something you got to work on. You got the faith to be a millionaire, but do you understand the works? You got the faith to be wealthy, but you're not willing to do the work. There's got to be something you believe in that you got to improve in. And that's the heart of an athlete. When you go to the off season, you've accepted this weakness and you made a decision to turn it into a strength. When my career was over, I had no money coming in. I had never had a real job. But I went to the National Speakers Association and asked the same question. My goal was to be a Hall of Fame motivational speaker. And I humbled myself to other Hall of Fame motivational speakers and asked a simple question: what do I need to do to be like you? What do I need to do to reach the top? What do I need to do to be elite? God will send you someone, because when the teacher is ready, the student will appear. I got that backwards. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You know why your mentor hadn't showed up? Because you're hard-headed. You know why your mentor has not showed up? Because your ego. You know why your mentor has not showed up? Because your pride won't allow it. Let me tell you something. I will always humble myself and ask a simple question to someone who is qualified and worthy: what do I need to do? And I promise you, I'll do it. That's a simple formula to be elite. You must discover your gift. You must be willing to develop that gift no matter how long it takes. But you must be willing to position that gift in a lucrative position in your industry. Let me give you an analogy. You can go and wait tables at Denny's. You can go and wait tables at a local restaurant where the average menu price is $7. And your tip is going to reflect the bill. Some of these bills come back $50, some of them come back $30. Somebody by themselves might have a special. They might walk out of your restaurant with a $12 meal. You're still serving, you're still taking orders, you're still running back forth in the kitchen, your feet are still sore when you get home. What happened if you packed up that gift from Denny's, IHOP, and repositioned your gift at a steakhouse? You're doing the same exact thing. You're serving, and when you get home, your feet are sore. But the average price at a steakhouse is much higher because not only are they eating steak, the sides are a la carte, and they might order a $1,000 bottle of wine. So if I'm a server and I don't like my salary at a restaurant, I've already discovered my gift. I've already developed my gift. But here's what I need you to do. Reposition your gift in the lucrative part of your industry. And I'm here to tell you, every industry is lucrative. When my career ended, I got hired to broadcast for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I did radio. And let me tell you something, when you do radio in the NBA, you're sitting at that table for 5 hours a night. I had to get there early and do the pregame show. I had to get there early and read the drops. We call them drops. Today's first quarter was brought to you by Dairy Queen, home of the blizzard. I had to read 50 drops, and then I had to do the first half. As soon as the first half was over, I had to do the halftime show. As soon as the halftime show was over, I had to do the second half. And as everybody went home after the final buzzer, guess what? I had to do the post-game show. I had to sit at that table for 5 hours nonstop, running my mouth for the NBA Timberwolves. And I made a decision. I've identified my gift. I've developed my gift. But I don't like where my gift is positioned. And guess what I did? I packed up my gift and repositioned my gift into the motivational speaking business, which is a $13 billion industry. I discovered, I developed, but I had the courage to reposition my gift. Can I ask you a question? A real rhetorical question. Have you discovered your gift? If you haven't discovered your gift, we got to stop right there. Just go ask your family, ask your friends, what am I good at? What do you think I'm really, really good at? And they'll tell you. And I'm telling you, when you're operating in your gift, you can do it all day long. It comes easy for you, and everybody else makes a big deal, but for you, it's nothing. Why? Because it's your gift. It's something that God gave you to prosper, just like that woman had that jar of oil. 2, are you willing to develop your gift? When I look at professional sports, we started playing basketball when we were 8 years old, and we did it every day, all day. And when nobody would do it with us, we go into a gym all by ourselves because we understood that it was required for us to develop a gift to become a pro. But the most important thing we must do is that we always have to be cognizant of where we position our gift. If you don't like your job, you're not positioned with your gift. If you don't like your salary, you're not positioned with your gift. Listen to me clearly. This can change your life if you pay attention. We have to discover, we must develop, and then we must position our gift. Because once our gift is operating, every year we have to recalibrate. And let me give you a real story. The biggest mistake I ever made was limited vision. The biggest mistake I ever made was a limited vision. When I was 10 years old, all I wanted to do was play in the NBA. The biggest mistake I made, I got it to the NBA. And guess what? I forgot to recalibrate. I remember John Stockton, chiropractor, Craig Bueller would be in the locker room. He would say, Walter, let me adjust you. Why not? It's free. John Stockton went to a chiropractor 4 times a day. You know what I would say? I'm good. Well, Walter, it's free. Stockton does it 4 times a day. I was a witness. On game day, he did it 4 times a day. And I had the opportunity. I had access to the resource. My response at that time, immature, I'm good. Hall of Fame ball player, legendary ball player, giving me the keys to the kingdom. But I was hard-headed, immature, didn't understand what it took to stay in the NBA. I knew what it took to make it, but I didn't know what it took to stay. I'm good. Carmelo lifted weights every single day, 6'9", 256 pounds. I would see that man have 29 points, 15 rebounds. Next morning, he'd be the first guy in the gym, in the weight room. I would walk by the weight room, man, who's in there lifting? I would look in the locker room, in the weight room, and it was Carmelo. He would say, hey, young fella, come get a lift. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I knew what it took to make it to the NBA. I didn't know what it took to stay. If I can go back 25 years ago, I would have recalibrated as soon as I made it to the NBA. Let me ask you a question. Are you falling into that same trap? You always wanted to work for this company, and once you got hired, you forgot to recalibrate? You always wanted to be married, and once you got married, you forgot to recalibrate. You always wanted to have kids, and once you got some kids, you forgot to recalibrate. You always wanted to live in Florida. You always want to live in California. You always want to do all these things, and as soon as you got it, guess what? You forgot to recalibrate. Hear me clearly. The biggest mistake I made in my life, I had a vision. But once I achieved the goal, I forgot to recalibrate. And in your off season, guys, I know better. That's when you recalibrate. That's when you take a look at your year and say, you know what, I was good in these areas, I was weak in these other areas, but I have a little bit of a break built into my year. And that's when I get bigger, that's when I get stronger, that's when I get faster. If you're a small business owner, you better recalibrate. If you're a sales rep, you better recalibrate. If you're leading a sales team, if you're leading a car dealership, if you're leading a franchise, you better recalibrate. I remember through COVID, everyone was devastated through COVID. My biggest client, Jersey Mike Subs, the founder, Peter Cancro, said, Walter, COVID just hit. We've been blindsided, but let's, like you taught me, I'm a shark, and we're going to recalibrate. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to feed all essential workers for free, and we're going to give everyone a 50% discount, and I'm going to back it up from the corporate office. What do you think about that? Hey, Peter, it's your money. Sounds like a great idea to me. Through COVID, he recalibrated, and the rest is history. Today, Subway does about $500,000 per store. Jersey Mike's, that's about $1.3 million per store. White girl is blessed.